if you're moving to a more protectionist world, where's the safe haven? And you're thinking, maybe not Japan because it's so trade dependent. Is the dollar the safe haven, or is the Swiss franc the safe haven?
We had yields and dollar falling at the same time overnight.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant question and a great observation. What we saw overnight was not classic risk aversion at all. Yes, the yen rallied, and that's what you'd expect in a risk averse environment, but the dollar weakened. Exactly right. Aussie is higher, not the sort of reaction you would expect to see if the world is getting a little bit more risk averse. So what's going on here, two things really on the dollar side. First of all, we're starting to see a sell the fact style reaction to the US inauguration. Largely it was priced in. US yields have been rallying for 2 months, the dollar too. So that's one component of the reaction overnight. The second one is yet further indications that the new US administration is concerned to some degree about US dollar strength. And that combination, those two factors, helped weigh on the US dollar overnight, drove dollar yen lower in particular, and allowed Aussie to climb.
Well, hold on. Okay, we had President Trump now, not too long ago, saying, look, strong dollar is killing us, right? But Mnuchin, the new US Treasury Secretary, his comments on strong dollar were a little bit taken out of context. Was he actually referring to strong dollar?
Overnight, those comments were referring to a strong dollar, but crucially, and I take your point on this, they were taken out of context because he was not necessarily suggesting that the dollar's current level is excessively strong. He was speaking in very general terms, and that's a crucial point that I think was missed in the early initial reaction. Now, the other point here, though, is that whatever politicians choose to say about the US dollar and whatever direction they may like the dollar to go in, the market may take a very different view. So we've seen many times over the last few years, in Japan, for example, even in Australia, New Zealand, and Switzerland in particular, just because domestic politicians or policymakers may want a currency to behave in a particular way, the market may take a different spin on things, and ultimately the fundamentals and the fundamental flows in particular will decide the outcome.